Welcome to episode 38 of Lost in Immersion, your weekly 45-minute stream about innovation. As VR and AR veterans, we will discuss the latest news of the immersive industry. Welcome back, guys. We were not there last week because, well, because. So we are back, and please, Fabien, if you have something to say it now.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. So for me today, I will go through like a quick fire news about Metaverse, virtual reality, and get your feedback on it. So let's start with updates about the Vision Pro, some news, and some patents that were released by Apple over the past few weeks, so we can maybe guess what they are up to for the next versions. So first, the code name of the smaller device seems to be Alaska and set to be released end of 2025. Uh, so that's quite a long road ahead. And I guess as usually with headsets, it tends to delay. So maybe it will be 2026. So maybe a time frame of 2 years between the Vision Pro and that new device. Another news, and I will switch to the patents, and we'll start asking your feedback on a few things. So the first one that caught my attention is Apple released a patent for a privacy cloak in VR. So if two people are close to each other, not in reality but in VR, and they get close to each other, the conversation will switch to a private, just between the two of them, and not heard by the other person in the virtual room. So first, I think it's a nice feature. It's just that I don't really understand why they need a patent for that. But I'm curious to know what you think. Maybe Seb, what do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting to put that in place. I don't know if any other games or metaverse things does the same. I wonder if I guess it will be locked by the user, because if someone else come closer to you than the other character you are talking to, you don't want the conversation to switch. So I guess there will be a user action to confirm you want to lock and make that conversation private with that specific user. But yeah, that's interesting, definitely.
Yeah, I've seen that in a co-working cloud service called Gather. It's kind of like a game UI, top view game UI, and when you go close to someone else, the chat gets private. But yeah, indeed, like if someone else comes, then they can hear the conversation. So yeah, that's it depends on how they implement it, I guess. I think we lost Guillaume. I don't see it. Do you see him?
No.
No. Okay, maybe we can just keep going and see if he comes back. The other patent that I found pretty interesting, and I wonder how they implement that. Talking about mounting device that has some kind of weight and tension adjustment depending on how the head moves. So maybe they have in mind more like moving experiences, like I don't know, fitness maybe, or experiences for work actually. Um, um, so Yeah, I don't know, Seb, you have a lot of experience with these devices, and did you find like them moving would be a difficult experience or a disconcerting experience, I guess?
Mostly what I found in the best for the headset is when they are balanced correctly, and you have really a good balance between the headset that is in the front and weighs a lot. Move when you do some action. That's not enjoyable. Although with their new lenses, pancake lenses, it's less an issue than before. The Fresnel lenses, you needed to be really right in front of them and then really fit them correctly. Now there is a bit of adjustment. The sweet spot is a bit larger, so that's a bit less of an issue. But still, having something that fits correctly and doesn't move is really better. I think the only headset that matched that perfectly is the Beyond headset, where you 3D print your mask so it fits correctly your head, which is the kind of direction Apple is going to also with the Vision Pro. So maybe they try to do something that works for every faces and fits correctly every faces without the need of printing something specific for you.
Yeah, you're exactly on point, because all like 6 or 7 of the other patents are around fitting either like on the face or the lenses. Like they have the foveated display as well. So it seems like they are really focusing on ease of usage and comfort, something to have something comfortable to wear for a long time. So we'll see how many of these features make it to the next version, but it's interesting to see. Yeah, maybe Guillaume, I was asking to Seb, Apple released the patent on a privacy cloak in VR. So like if two people get close to each other, they can have a private conversation. I wonder, what do you think about that? If you think it's a useful feature.
Something like the Apple Air, when you can maybe transfer things to the person close to you, but there with the conversation. I'm not a Apple fan, so I'm not a user of this kind of features, so I don't know if people are really using them or not. But yeah, when you are thinking of a global use of the Apple Vision Pro, they are imagine they are just thinking about how people will interact when everybody will have this kind of headset on an everyday basis, I guess. So it's very interesting to see that they are really willing to aim at the global use of this. So very interesting.
Okay. One thing as well, just to finish on the Apple Vision news, is so the SDK for Unity is now available to everybody. Is out of private beta, and someone did a funny calculation of how much would it cost to develop for Vision Pro with Unity. So you need the Vision Pro, you need a MacBook, and you need the license for Unity. So it kind of adds up quite a lot, and you need, if you want to release the app, to have the Apple developer account as well. So I think the total was around 8K to develop and release apps for Unity, which is quite a lot. But I guess one of the topic today later will be about price as well, so I can bookmark that for next conversation. And switching to Meta now.
Just about Apple.
Yep.
Did you see the
Yeah.
video that is showing how you can calibrate your face? There was a video of this when you just turn around the Apple Vision Pro towards you, and he's scanning your face. So it's very simple procedure. Just have to turn right and left, and apparently it can 3D scan your face and put it on a 3D mesh for you to have your virtual representation. So just for you to know that this video is, I don't know if it's a leak or not, but it's you can see it. Maybe I'll try to find it right now and show it to you while you are talking about Meta.
Cool, thanks. I'm curious to see. Yeah.
And just one procedure I've never mentioned. So yeah.
A feature that was enabled just last week is location services. Using the Android location measure. So to me, it was a bit interesting to see this kind of feature, especially Meta really advertising it. I wonder if you see any immediate application of this feature, because from what I experience and what I see, it's mostly at home experience. So maybe it's related to them trying to go into the business B2B side with this kind of location services. But yeah, I can guess maybe you can have a different experience if you are using your device at home or at your office. But or if you can play a game with people that are geographically around you. But yeah, I wonder, maybe Seb, do you have some ideas about this?
Yeah, at first I was thinking that it was something to be to do a share space experience more easily, but no, it's like you said, it's more GPS location information that you get, so it's not precise in terms of position in space. It's more 1 meter or 50-meter precision, depending on if you are inside or outside. So I guess that's exactly what you said. There's something where you can set up a different kind of experiences or environment where you are at home or at the office working with the headset. And they are talking about having like a work if you do some fitness, for example, I have the fitness apps that launch at your fitness location, and something different at your place. So best use is the one you described with using it at the office seems more likely to be the one they should target. So maybe that's an issue on communication around that. But apart from that, I'm really looking forward for them to deploy something that allows a more easy way to do share space experiences. So at location, if someone else has the headset, you don't have to do any setup. Quickly, you can join directly the mixed reality experience and experience something together. Yeah, that's more something I'm looking for.
Okay, cool. What about you, Guillaume, about this location services?
Yeah, the first use is I guess the same that we've seen with the HoloLens, meaning that you can manage your different spaces and don't have, well, you have ready to go 3D scans everywhere you go if it's kept in memory. And the other application I'm thinking right now is about how about a new version of Pokemon Go on the mixed reality headset. It could be nice, and it needs a GPS location for you to have this kind of application. So why not? But yeah, well, right here, just seeing maybe another way of them to get some information about what you're doing with the headsets. We know that some information about your space are shared with Meta, so maybe at some point they are willing to see what people are doing with the headsets as well. So it's maybe more a tool for them than it is for us, but we'll see what people and developers would do with this feature.
Yeah, good point. Okay, cool. That's it for me.
Yeah, just found the
Yeah.
video. So just let me show you that. Okay. So this is a procedure. We're doing how the process is. To have slides and you and high school map on this. I think this video. So you think seems to be very easy, but not sure about the quality after that. Seems too quick for us to have very detailed information about your face.
Yeah, it's a very fast scan. It's a promotional video, so maybe they shortcut it for marketing purposes. But yeah, I mean that's a very clever way to do a scan. Just use the depth cameras and be done with it. And having a display makes it easy to give instructions to the user. So seems to be as usual with Apple. UX is very good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it confirmed that the screen won't simply display the eyes. It will be used for other purposes as well. Yes, Seb, sorry.
no, yeah, you're right, and I think they're only using it to display the eyes of the user, this part on the visor, right, on the screen afterwards, when you wear
Yeah.
the headset, so they don't need a full scan. They will just need this area to be.
No, they are using it as well for the collaboration. I don't know. It's a upgraded Teams or Zoom. They
Mm,
want you to have your 3D face so that when you are calling somebody, is seeing your full face because you're wearing the headset. So you need to have your persona,
mm.
as they're calling it. So you will be using this 3D scan of your face as a representation for your future virtual call with your friends or colleagues. This is why it's very important to have a very detailed scan, because if it's too yeah too simple, people will say that you are completely in the uncanny valley, and it will be very it won't be comfortable for people to discuss with you. So there is a huge uh, work there for you to have something that people are willing to discuss with.
Mm.
So they are. It's
But
fun
then,
to see that they are on the realistic side and not on the avatar one.
but at one point you are not going on the back of your head or on the top of your
No,
head, so they
yeah,
extrapolate that and that they fill the gap.
I don't know how it works really. Maybe it's some kind of face swap algorithm when you are catching the face and putting it on a 3D mesh, where
Mm.
yeah, completely standard 3D mesh. I guess it could work that way, but yeah, about the hair and your global, yeah, I don't know if you have some accessories or what. It won't catch that. It will just catch your face and put it on the. I guess you will have to do some customization of the standard 3D mesh where your face will be put on. So yeah, not much information about this, but yeah, this is the way they are taking for us to have our virtual representation.
So you mean maybe being able to choose your hairstyle directly on
I don't
afterwards?
know.
Mm.
I don't know at this point.
Okay.
One thing about these cameras, so the one that are looking inside, I'm wondering is currently, if I want to make a purchase on my phone, it's using the Face ID, but I guess no, I don't guess it will not work with the phone if you have a headset on. So I don't know if they are thinking of also using the inside cameras to do some kind of a face ID or eye ID. I don't know how that would work for payment. So yeah, just throwing out the question here. I have no idea of the answer, but I would be curious to hear what Apple, how Apple
Uh,
thought of the
I,
UI.
I may be wrong, but I think they mentioned the fact that it would be your eyes, because they were very specific about the fact that they won't share those information
Mm.
about the Apple security and so on. So I guess the answer is right right there, meaning that they will be using your eyes for these kind of uh, actions.
Yeah, I think they talk about unlocking the device by just putting it and scanning your pupils. Yeah. Mm.
Mm, nice.
Okay,
To be
so
confirmed.
Seb, you're
Yeah.
next.
So my topic was about a scan that I had the chance to test at the Satis event in France, which it's this scan is um, created by a German company. You step in, there is a lot of Canon EOS um, cameras that are set up in this space, and you take 3 seconds to stand in the middle, take a picture, and you end up with a very high quality model, very detailed one. So that the first kind yeah, high quality, but for you can easily downscale put it in maybe having a character that is kind of device today to in the middle and take position, but then afterwards after so I don't know.
Nice dance move. Yeah, it's the the setup. It's quite interesting to see this kind of setup while we are also talking about very minimal setups, like what Move AI is doing, which is only for capture the movement, not for scanning the body, but with Nerf or Gaussian splatting, which has more like on the just do it with your phone kind of strategy, I would say. And this on the opposite side with uh, so huge and costly structure, but I mean the results are there. Indeed, it's very impressive, the quality and how you can apply a rig on it. So yeah, pretty impressive.
Do you have any information about the price of the scan? Because I met some companies that have, the official rig with several dozens of cameras in it for you to do this kind of scan, and they told me that it was about 4K the scan per scan. So they are showing some difficulties to have a business model around it. So do you know what's the
Here they're
cost of it?
selling they are selling the device, so not
Mm-hmm.
it's not a per scan
Okay.
selling price. So you need, if you buy it, you need to do the work to
Yeah,
see how that you can sell it.
well, they did that as well, but they have some licensing stuff with their device, meaning that all the scans should be done by the company that sold the system. So I don't
Mhm.
know if they have this kind of business models as well, meaning that you are scanning people, you're sending the data, and they're bringing back the 3D model if you are paying, of course. Maybe it's just a one-time selling product and so on, but I guess for the manufacturer of the system, it's a very interesting business model to have your client sending you the data and being able to bill each time. But for the user, it's a real pain because
Mm.
it's too expensive for them to grow.
So here for me, they are selling really the device and the
Mhm.
software that goes with it. There is a small adjustment, mainly on the feet, to separate the floor to the feet. So there is toolkit for that. But they sell the computer that goes with the whole system, and on that computer there is the tools to edit the model. So there is a bit of work. Again, there is some training around that, but then there is no additional cost. You pay for that, and that's it. And same, they have a rental option also, where you can rent the system for, I don't know how many days actually, but they come, they set it up for you, and that's the overall cost for the rental fee.
Okay. Can you communicate the price of the system?
They told me 300,000
Okay.
K euros, the 300 K euros, and for the buying the whole system. But then for rental, they are talking about 20K.
Per month, per year, per.
That's where I'm missing some information. I don't know. I don't know how long it can last if you pay that price.
Okay, nice.
That's the first one. The second one, I was able to test this Haptic vest, which is very nice. So it's one that is using the woofer basically in a vest, but the way they did it, the vest is very person because there's a strap and yeah, the feeling that on the front on the trousers. So
Yeah, I tried.
it's already in your experience get sensation to install the best. It's really they can the Varjo XR4 that was announced yesterday, and it's a new step in the, I don't think that Tesla is high graphic card that renders everything and use that specific keyboard for that. The reality what that so they really increase everything on it. So, but 20 horizontally duplicate and 100 vertical. So that is what you the eye angle view of natural vision. And then they want PPD, so it's a quality of that is made for industry mostly. And what, yeah, I can't wait to be able to. That's so there was any feedback on that.
One way of improving the quality the components that already exist. There are KUSD immersion, and that seems to align focus, which is a lot of people have, but it's the first time that I see that a lot quality, comfort of usage. So you need a device. I mean, that's yeah, it just
because there are two different PPG. There is the one in VR mixed reality. The oldest and was about over 70. So if it's okay for the cell, but they are and uh, and the real world through their mixed reality 51 ppg. It's a bold it's a bold claim for maybe it will at some point come back to them with a not so positive way, but yeah.
So you mean you think they lower the quality of the
Yeah, I think
screen so that the pass-through and the screen are the same
yeah,
PPD?
yeah. This is something I'm thinking about, so that they are matching the two of them. And of course, if your those two have the same resolution, you don't have the problem. But the problem is around your eye resolution because it's more than 60. It's so your 51 ppd is less than the eye resolution. So it's very, I guess you have to try, but I think this is the way they did it, by lowering the whole resolution for you to have this feeling of realism.
Hmm. And yeah, what thing I wanted to mention also is the fact that they center the cameras. So like we said, it's seems to be a better way to do things.
Mm.
So there is no distortion. At least I'm not mentioning it, but I guess we'll wait for it to try it and back on that.
Yeah, we won't have much years. This flight simulating with this kind of devices oriented towards at some point in Varjo, because some headsets 10K, I can't see any startup climate covered by like this. Yeah. Yes,
But lighthouse basis, so you don't need a other setup. There is a inside-out tracking done by them. So we'll see how it goes. Also, if they manage to match the or do something even better than the other headset. As they have depth sensor also, so same. We'll see how good they are and doing a background subtraction or putting occlusion on your hand, so your hands are on front of a 3D object.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it for me.
Okay. So I guess there are some technical difficulties with the. Yeah. Okay. Great. We are back. So about my topic, just let me change my screen. Metaverse, because we know the word metaverse is not having so much traction now in the US or in Europe. However, in Asia, it's still a very high word and work for them to be working on. So there was a big news about that was shared through the World Economic Forum. Basically, they have this 24/7 available virtual environment where people can communicate and do some. Um, we know that we are always talking about applications that make sense for the people for them to use their headsets, and I guess this is this kind of application where they will be able to access services or product that so that they don't have to go outside or go inside a specific location for them to have those services. So it will of course make them keep their VR headsets and use it on maybe not a daily basis, but more often that they are using right now. There's still some question about how they are managing the number of users, because we know that the global architecture is not when we are doing the server client architecture, we can't do more than 100 users at the same time. So I don't know how they did this. Maybe they are also working on the something like a Web3 or mesh architecture for them to be able to manage this whole population of user and make them uh, interact with each other with not like an instance architecture when you just have 100 people and you have to meet in different um, rooms of servers for you to interact. So what do you think about this? Are you happy that the metaverse is not dead completely? Uh, but we know that for us in America or in Europe, we will be talking about spatial computing because this is the new buzzword. And I guess when you are seeing what Apple and Meta are doing, especially Apple with their Apple Vision Pro headset. They are clearly aiming at this vision of the metaverse, but they are calling it the spatial computing now, I guess.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Well, I totally agree with you on what you said about like finally, quote unquote, finally, there is an experience that really looks like what the metaverse purpose was to at the beginning. Even if we can think of VR chat, Fortnite, Roblox, and this kind of spaces as metaverses as well. But it's interesting to see like more like a social experience related to a country and not to a commercial entity. So I'm really curious to go there, to go in the metaverse and see if we can go there and experience it. That could be really really interesting.
Yeah, same for me. And I wonder if did they talk about going so far as having the CTO represented and being able to meet, do something that usually needs you to go there and do some
Yeah, it's in
paperwork and
phase.
stuff like that.
It will be in phase 2. So it's in the upcoming work and releases of the metaverse. You will have this kind of interaction possible.
Nice. And for games and stuff like that, that's not the place. That's only for businesses,
Yeah,
marketing,
businesses,
and
social events, and yeah, it's a very I could say that. Yeah, it's a everyday life oriented application.
I
So I
understand
guess
then the need to meet some people, some sales or stuff like that. But what what is the point of seeing the other user in that use case if you can't bring them to specific places to play a specific game or exchange or something?
the their use case here on the phase 1 is I guess it's very student oriented, because you have access to the whole library, so you can work there and you can meet with your fellow students and professors. So I guess in this first step they are really willing for the student to meet in VR or in the virtual world. And I guess the next step is for a more globally use for citizens.
Okay, so yeah, they try to embrace the young generation
Yeah.
to. Hmm.
Okay. Any more thoughts about this? Okay, we're good. So it's a wrap up for today. We will be seeing you next week for another episode of Lost in Immersion. See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.